People are currently making millions by duping in CS2, and it is still happening even in 2025. Now this video is going to be explaining everything, from how it was done back in CSGO, to the most famous mass-produced dupe skins that we have so far, and to what recently emerged with a Russian YouTuber 7 months ago. We're going to be diving even deeper than anyone's ever dived before into this rabbit hole of exactly how they are doing the duping, how they're cashing out their profits, and all the potential shady buyers. Let's jump straight into it. This is Duping in CS2. The full story. Now, back in the early days of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, a small group together made millions duping high-tier CSGO items through Steam support. Now, in particular, Russian Steam support. Basically, they would trade their high-tier items to their friend and message Russian Steam support saying, hey, I got scammed, and Russian Steam support wouldn't check, wouldn't do anything, and would just roll back the item of the alleged victim. They wouldn't ban the potential scammer, so in essence, the friend had the items and the original person got the items back. Now, this happened with so many high-tier items: Dragon Laws, Howls, Factory New Crimson Webs, even some #1 floats got duped, like the world's lowest float Karambit Knight. Now, as dupe skins share the same history, pretty much this #1 will never be picked up by a collector, as if they hold it for a year or 2 years, while the other duped one keeps getting traded, bought, sold, it won't say that they're the actual #1. They'll be lost in the past owner history, so it's not a desired item. Now, of course, they duped all types of regular high-tier liquids, like basic float Factory New Howls, Factory New D-Laws, but there's a few hidden gems that got absolutely, well, fucked. There's a 4x Titan Hollow Souvenir Factory Dragon Lore. This is all the golden stickers scraped and then 4x Titan Hollows applied. 26 times it got duplicated. A 00 float StatTrak M4 Howl Factory New. 00 float on M4 Howls are so rare because as soon as it got taken out the case, you couldn't trade up to it. So the only ones that existed were the ones that got unboxed at the time. Not including dupes, there's only 8 00 StatTrak M4 Howls. With dupes included, there's 34. There's also 18 duplicates of a StatTrak M4 Howl with 2x Titan Hollows on their body. Regardless, around 2017, Valve actually announced to the public they would never roll back a scammed item, and that pretty much sums up the duping lore of CSGO. Now we're going to look at duping in CS2 now. We're going to first look at the Russian duping case from 6 months ago, and the sticker duping I've been looking into that's happening still to this day, and potentially looking at some dodgy buyers cashing out these dupers. So 8 months ago, pretty much a Russian YouTuber made a video explaining how one of his viewers had his item duped on the Steam market multiple times. One of his examples given was he listed this AK iBuy Power on the market and it was instantly bought. But a day later, both himself, which is the seller, and the buyer were both trade banned. After talking to Steam support, the transaction was actually reversed, the seller getting back his original AK and he lost the pending Steam balance, and the buyer kept his trade ban. Now this seems normal, but he goes on to explain later in the week he saw that the AK on CS Float, the exact one he owns currently in his inventory, it says a different inventory hazard. And when he clicks on it, just like that, there are 2 versions now according to CS Float. Anyway, onto the biggest and current new method of duping for 2025 in CS2. This is sticker duping and selling the crafts that you apply the stickers. Now you may be wondering, why stickers, not op Dragon Laws? And the pros: you can't track a sticker. There is no pattern ID, there is no float. And when you apply that sticker, it disappears. The cons? Nothing. Now, there are so many of these duper accounts out there, but I'm going to be showing you just the ones that I can connect and I think are genuinely the smartest ones out there. Now, these dupers have fresh, unset up Steam accounts with generated ass names, and they go through the whole process that I explained earlier of duping with the credit card fraud, and instead of putting in storage units, once trading into a different account, they're mass applying them to common crafts. For example, we have this one. It's an unset up Steam account and we can't just click inventory. As when you look at my profile, you can click inventory and go in. But we can backwards engineer ourselves back into his inventory and see his items. He's using the popular AK skin, the AK Slate, and doing the same craft, all custom placement and just minutely different. And because they're all so unique, he can charge 80%, 90% sticker value and keep majority of the duped value. If he was to do a regular 4x default placement, that would probably sell for 25%, and all his hard work of trying to dupe this and all the illegal stuff he's been doing is just gonna, for 25% of the value, is not worth it. Now you're probably saying, you know, this is only a couple of thousand, but this is only just the start. This exact Steam account, all his main items have been sold. He applied over $40,000 cash on some of the dumbest crafts I've ever seen, but he sold each and every single one. He's already cashed out on just this account. Let me show you. Now shout out Morocco on Twitter, he did all these screenshots, but as we can see, he does multiple of the same crafts and all of the stickers are slightly moved. So it's multiple, it's so weird, so bizarre, and look, there are so many of them. Hundreds of these crafts. Flammables are $100 cash, crowns are 500, and they're all so repetitive. Now, when we actually look into the crafts through CS Flow, we can see he crafted each and every single one of these, the grey profile. HRW. But when we look at this one, not only is he duping the stickers, he's duping the gun itself. He sells it to this Chinese guy, and in the process of it happening, he re-gets the item. Similar to this Russian video, the item be coming back. Even though CS Float doesn't say this is duped, they don't do that for new dupes. They only add the red text for very old duplications in CSGO. We can see, because of this item history is long enough, this AK sells to the pig guy, whereas this one sells to the green guy. But the pig guy refreshes his item, most likely either on an unknown trade, so it's not through a CS Float extension, or on the Steam market, back out, or into a storage unit, back out, and it updates. So the stickers are duped to them apply on the gun, and then he's duping the gun itself. Now remember, that's just one Steam account that I found. There are so many of these that look exactly the same. Look at this one and pay attention to its hours in CS2. 0 hours, but it has over 100 crafts with the same formula we saw earlier on the slate. Now remember, to craft in-game, even being on your inventory, that loads hours being in CS2. So did this account even craft it, or has the stickers already been duped, applied, and sent to this account to be sold to other people? Now he crafted all 7 of these 5x iBuyPower custom placement, all by this guy. The ones that are currently on sale, he actually sold. As you can see, both these ones are from him originally, and the bottom one is from the original HRW account. Same thing. All of these 5x custom placement, they're all slightly different, all crafted by this guy, and the few which have been sold or ended up in someone else's inventory, the HRW grey inventory guy or the blue guy crafted. Now this is where things get interesting. It's no surprise over the time of Counter-Strike we've had large cases of traders cashing out scammers, whether they were aware or unaware, or they accepted it because they usually get large profit margins, who knows. But there's one individual that I've been looking into who I believe is doing something fishy with these dupers. Now again, it's all speculation, so please take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But this is a Rua. Well, to be exact, these are both Rua. A rich Chinese person who's best known for crafting and hitting in a trade up the #1 flow AK Wild Lotus on Arrow's stream. Now recently, in the last 6 months, he spent over $20,000 doing the most bizarre custom placement crafts and sells all of them on CS Float for around 90% sticker value, which is strange. Why is he selling them? Now you might be sitting, but Flary, if he can attempt an expensive trade up, he can do other rich dumb stuff. But here's the catch. So remember the 2 accounts that I showed you? The first one was his main original first Steam account. It's the same account which crafted the #1 AK Wild Lotus, and as we check on CSGO Exchange, it had all his play skins and had an M9 Emerald as well. But at the exact same time, the second account only had around 7,000 on it, which was holding a bunch of investments from Mirage, Dust 2 collection. The first red flag was, why drop your entire main account? It has all the history of the trade ups you've done in the database, all your achievements in games, just to play it on your second account and trade all the skins there. Now here's where things get actually fishy. When we look through his old main account, the last bits of his inventory, he actually owns a bunch of these duped 5x sticker crafts. The same MO, the same style, the same weapons, the same stickers. And when we check his inventory history through CS Float, we can actually see the exact same pattern. From this bot account, to this bot account, to this Chinese account, then to him. And when we do check these inventories, random generated name, the Steam profile isn't even set up, the inventory has nothing in it anymore, and it's been cashed out. And ever since this happened, on the new account he's been playing on, he's been going through these sessions of just dropping 15,000, 20,000, applying all these stickers. Now here is my theory. This guy's connected somehow to the duper or cashes out the stickers. Somehow, or it's a friend of a friend. And he's mass applying these crafts and reselling them at 90% sticker price on CS Float. Now, because every craft he does is a 1 out of 1, it's all custom placement, it's all 5x, they are so unique, they can all retain a very high sticker percentage, so we can sell each craft for around 90% sticker value. Now again, please take this last part with a pinch of salt, I don't want to accuse anyone, but something incredibly sus is still happening. There are so many of these bot accounts operating. Even this one is still operating last week. All these crafts, they're all 5x, they're all unique, customly placed, all desired stickers from every single major, The holos, foils, papers, and it's got the same MO of all these bot accounts. They're applying it to play skins on the AK Slate, on the M4 Black Lotus, on the Deagle Trigger Discipline, on the Op Chromatic Aberration. All of them trying to retain the highest sticker percentage so when they resell these dupe stickers, they can get the highest percentage. And even this account right now is still operating freshly item last week. Now remember, at the end of the day, it's all speculation. This isn't meant to scare anyone. This isn't going to crash the market, but it's always best to put it out there for you boys and the public to see. But lads, if you did enjoy this video and do enjoy skin-related content, subscribing and liking the video means a ton to me. And I'm live every single day on Twitch doing skin, price checking, trade ups, playing the game, twitch.tv/FlurryCS, and see you next video.